minimum wage tussle between the federal government and the Nigerian Labour Congress. The federal government and the Labour Union, NLC, engaged in a back and forth over the implementation of a new minimum wage. Both parties not quite settled yet. Tunji.
Okay, so we'll start from the fact that the 18,000 naira, if you were to divide it by each day, it's actually below the $1.50 that the World Bank or the international communities say you should live on. So basically what the federal government has been paying is a poverty wage to Nigerians, and you've been paying them to keep in poverty. I mean,
well, isn't what they say is most people live below $1
a day. Yeah.
Most people.
So it's $1. So it's a scenario where the federal government, it's not a question of should they, it's why haven't you done it all this while? That's I think the discussion we should have. But the NLC themselves don't seem to be coordinated enough to be able to demand for what they should demand, and they don't have the right arguments. So it's been going back and forth, and even Nigerians that want to support the cause tend to feel a bit frustrated, because when it's like, okay, we're going on strike, and you say, okay, in solidarity we're going to, you know, stock up the house, and you know, because we feel this is a righteous cause, and then the midnight before they say we're calling off the strike, and you're like, are you guys really serious?
Okay, so that's where I would differ. So yes, of course, 18,000 is ridiculous. It's a ridiculous amount, but you can't suddenly go from 18,000 to 30,000. It's preposterous. I mean, that's really where the madness begins for me. Okay, everything should be incremental. It's only in Nigeria that we think you start from there and just boom, everything go poof on your face. No government can afford that. So where is the realism? No government can afford that.
But in line with that argument you're bringing up now, some state governors are saying that they can only afford to make an increase of 4,500.
They haven't even paid the 18,000, let alone 4,500, Henry. Half of them haven't been paying salaries. Half of them haven't even raised it. 18,000 was doing fashion last time, no? They haven't even been keeping up to it, which is why I will always maintain, how do you want to go from 18,000 to 30,000?
Here's the thing, right? So there is a law which says the minimum wage should be reviewed every 5 years. And the basic understanding is that it actually should be reviewed with inflation.
Yes, there you go.
Normally, globally, that's the cause.
Yes.
So if inflation rises to a certain point, you should review it, because that means the spending power of the money has reduced. And we do not forget, there was a massive 50% devaluation in Naira.
Yes, there was.
So really, what these people have is not really 18,000 Naira. It's really, quote unquote, maybe 9,000 Naira from what they used to have. Imagine having a child who needs to go to school, a wife on 9,000 Naira. It's actually ridiculous.
So while all of that is fair and good, you've got an interesting situation where I was literally looking at a headline today, and the president seems to suggest that in order to offset the increase right, in the new minimum wage, well, those who are already earning above the minimum wage, or at least those who
should take a pay,
will most likely be flirting with a pay cut. So they are interesting.
So do we see them coming to
this.
A logical conclusion
Never.
in 2019? Would there be an agreement?
Never.
Well,
February next month.
So for me, I think the elections might offer a political incentive for the federal government to move more to it. Whether they would end at 30,000.
I you know, remember that 30,000. Even the government said, it's NLC that's saying, the government is saying 30. The government is saying we haven't even agreed to that 30,000. Yeah. So that 30,000 is just a number that's up in the air that we don't know where it's going to land. I put it to you that with my thing is NLC, they will capitulate, which is what they normally do. They always capitulate. That's one. Number two is the workers will still be worse off, without a doubt. 18,000, I keep saying 18,000 is not the amount to live on. But had you come to the table and said, you know what, Mr. Government, we want to go from 18,000 to 25,000. Everybody, the whole country be behind you. Look, whether it's below the living poverty wage or not, the fact of the matter is it is unrealistic. Your wife can't come to you, the school fees. Right. They can't suddenly come up and hike it up by what, 30%? Yeah. They can't.
So the arguments are just wrong on both sides.
On both sides.